right, so today we're diving into this case study from Ronin Graphics. They're a design firm.
Yeah.
And their work with GreenLeaf, which is the eco-friendly kitchenware company.
Right.
It's just full of these like behind-the-scenes marketing insights.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
But I think our listeners will find super valuable.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So like imagine this GreenLeaf wants to launch this new product line.
Okay.
Right? And they need a campaign that just like screams sustainable, but without being like, I don't know.
Like Crunchy granola.
Frenchy granola. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, how do you walk that line?
Right.
So it's a tough needle to thread, right?
It is, especially these days.
Yeah.
Like everybody's saying that their product is eco-friendly. You've got to cut through all that noise somehow.
For sure.
Yeah.
So that's where this whole thing gets interesting for Ronin Graphics. The case study really dives into their process.
Okay.
And the first...
Which is what any good creative project...
So hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Oh, sorry.
The first thing they do is this massive brainstorming session.
Right. Okay.
Right?
And that is where you should start.
Okay.
Because you need to get all the ideas out there.
Okay, so you're on board with that.
Absolutely.
Starting with a brainstorming session.
At least that.
Okay. But they kind of took it like a step further.
Oh, how so?
They emphasized bringing everyone to the table.
Okay.
Not just like the design team.
Interesting.
Right.
So like marketing people too.
Yeah.
Even the interns.
Exactly. Because
Yeah.
sometimes the best ideas come from those unexpected places.
It's true. Sometimes you just need that fresh perspective.
Yeah, and it's like they're not as close to it.
Right. They can see the bigger picture.
Exactly.
Which can be really valuable.
Totally. And in this case, it was like, who would have thought that the UI UX specialist
Oh, really?
would spark the winning concept?
I mean, I guess that makes sense, though.
In retrospect.
Yeah.
But like, tell me more about this light bulb moment.
Okay, so picture this, right?
Okay.
They're all in this room just like tossing around ideas, trying to crack the code of like, how do we visually represent GreenLeaf's,
Their whole thing.
commitment to sustainability,
Yeah.
right? And then Emma, they're like UI, UX specialist.
Yeah. She's
Like, what a rock star. I know, right? She's like, what if we visualize the entire life cycle of the products?
okay. I'm intrigued.
It's brilliant when you think about it.
But how do you even begin to visualize that?
Well, think about common visual metaphors,
Okay.
like a seed transforming into a plant.
Okay.
That sense of growth, renewal, like connection to nature.
So you're not literally showing like a product decomposing in a landfill.
No.
Okay.
It's much more symbolic.
Got it.
It's about evoking a feeling.
A feeling.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's really clever is that this whole life cycle concept,
Yeah.
it subtly reinforces GreenLeaf's message, but across all their platforms.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
So you're saying like I'm seeing echoes of it on their website,
absolutely.
on their social media, even the product packaging.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
all connected.
That's really cool.
Which speaks to this crucial aspect that Ronin Graphics really emphasizes.
Okay.
Consistency.
Okay.
It's about creating this unified narrative no matter where you encounter the brand.
It's like those movie franchises,
Yes.
where each film has its own arc,
Right.
but it's contributing to this like larger story.
Exactly.
I love that.
And with GreenLeaf, each touch point,
Okay.
from the website to the packaging, it becomes like a chapter in their sustainability story.
Oh, that's so cool.
Right.
Okay, so they have this brilliant concept, but I imagine actually bringing it to life
Yeah, that's a whole other challenge.
involved a whole other level of like collaboration.
Absolutely, because it's one thing to have a great idea on paper,
Yeah.
but to actually execute it
Right.
across multiple mediums.
It's different.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not just one designer handling like everything.
No. You've got a whole team
Oh.
with specialized skills.
So like walk me through who's doing what.
Okay, so first you've got your branding specialists,
Okay.
making sure that visual identity stays consistent.
Right.
Then there's the UI UX designers, crafting a website experience that's both user-friendly
Yeah.
and reflects those lifecycle elements we talked about.
Right.
And then you've got the print designers, like Sally.
Sally.
Yeah, she was awesome.
What did she do?
She took it upon herself to research eco-friendly printing options.
Wait, really?
Oh yeah, they went all in.
So they were thinking about the environmental impact of like the printing process?
Absolutely, like every little detail mattered.
Wow.
We're talking recycled paper, plant-based inks,
Wow.
the whole 9 yards.
That's impressive.
Right.
Yeah.
They didn't just talk the talk,
Right.
They walked the walk.
At every step.
every single step.
Even down to the tiny details.
Which I think is so important.
Yeah, I agree.
It's about walking the walk.
Totally.
Not just talking the talk.
So did GreenLeaf like immediately jump on board with this whole like...
That's where things got interesting.
Okay.
Because even with the best laid plans, you're bound to hit a snag or two.
Oh, so there was some pushback.
A little bit, yeah.
From the client.
Well, yeah, how clients can be.
Oh, yeah.
They had some reservations.
Oh, what weren't they on board with?
They were a little worried that by, like, hammering the sustainability angle so strongly, the campaign might come across as too pithy or niche.
Okay.
Especially to their target audience.
Which is...
who, values aesthetics as much as ethics.
Right. It's like you want it to be aspirational, not like you're, sacrificing style.
Exactly. And that's where Ronin Graphics' collaborative approach really shines.
Okay.
Because instead of, like, digging in their heels,
yeah,
they listened to GreenLeaf's concerns.
Oh, okay.
And they used it as an opportunity to refine the concept.
So it's that balance, right?
Yeah.
Between staying true to, like, your vision, but also being open to that feedback.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's so crucial
It is.
for anyone, really, because sometimes the most valuable feedback you get is the kind that makes you stop and say,
oh, yeah.
I hadn't thought about it that way before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It can be tough to hear in the moment.
Oh, for sure.
But it often leads to, like, a much stronger outcome.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
And in this case, it really pushed Ronin Graphics to get even more creative.
How so?
So they kept those, like, core life cycle visuals.
Okay.
But they started incorporating, like, bolder colors.
Okay.
More modern typography.
To give it that, like, really high-end feel.
Precisely.
Very cool.
They even found this amazing, like, high-gloss, eco-friendly paper for their print materials.
Oh, wow. So they were still, like, really prioritizing sustainability.
Sustainability was still, like, at the forefront.
But they elevated the aesthetic.
Exactly.
Cool.
So it was a win-win.
It sounds like a true collaboration.
It really was.
Where both sides kind of contributed to the solution.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, they worked together. And you know what?
What?
The results speak for themselves.
Okay, let's hear it.
The campaign was a smash hit.
Okay.
Like, their website traffic boosted by 50%.
Wow, that's huge.
And sales went up by 30%.
Those are some serious numbers.
I know, right? It's proof that good design works.
Totally, but I think beyond the metrics, what I find so compelling is, like, how Ronin Graphics managed to tell a story that resonated with consumers on, like, multiple levels.
It wasn't just about selling a product anymore.
Yeah.
It was about showcasing a brand that, like, aligned with people's values.
Right, and they made sustainability feel desirable, aspirational even.
100%.
Right.
Like, you want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
This is cool.
It's cool to be sustainable. Exactly. And they did it by, like, sweating the details, collaborating really effectively, and being flexible enough to adapt to those challenges along the way.
It's true.
It's almost like they cracked the code for not just visual storytelling, but for any kind of project that involves creative problem solving.
Absolutely. It's a good framework for any kind of problem, really.
Totally.
What I find really interesting, though, is how this whole case study just highlights the shift we're seeing towards more collaborative models across industries.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It's like it's not enough to just be a siloed expert anymore.
Right. So you're saying it's not enough to just be really good at your one thing? Exactly.
You got to be able to communicate your ideas clearly, incorporate different perspectives, work effectively as part of a team.
It's like all those soft skills that they never teach you in school.
They're so important, though.
They are.
Yeah.
So how can our listeners apply these insights from Ronin Graphics to their own work?
Oh, that's a great question.
Or even their personal lives?
Well, I think first and foremost, remember that good design isn't just about aesthetics. It's about solving problems and communicating effectively.
Interesting.
So the next time you're facing a challenge, ask yourself, how can I visualize this problem?
Ooh, I like that.
What's the story I'm trying to tell?
Because sometimes just, like, reframing the issue in a visual way can spark new solutions.
100%. It can unlock something.
Yeah.
And don't underestimate the power of collaboration.
Oh, yeah, collaboration's key.
It is. Bounce ideas off of colleagues, friends, family. You might be surprised by the insights that come out of those conversations.
And you know what else really stuck with me from this whole thing?
What's that?
It's that attention to detail thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's so easy to just, like, gloss over. But when a company really nails it...
Oh, you can tell.
You can totally tell.
It's like that little extra something.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, wow.
They really care.
They cared about this.
It's not just a job.
Yeah, exactly.
They put in the extra effort.
Like, for me, it could be something as simple as, like, a website that's not only beautiful, but it's, like, incredibly easy to navigate.
Right.
You know?
Like, it's intuitive.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about it.
Exactly. Or even just, like, a well-designed business card.
Yeah.
That, like, feels substantial and memorable.
Totally. Those little things make a difference.
They do.
It's the difference between, like, throwing it away and actually keeping it.
Exactly.
And remembering that company.
It's all about those details.
It really is.
It's funny. Before this whole deep dive, I don't think I would have ever connected the dots between like choosing eco-friendly inks and creating a memorable brand experience.
Interesting.
But it's all connected.
It's all part of the same story.
It is.
It's about walking the walk.
Yes.
Right.
It's like you're demonstrating your values.
Exactly. Through like every decision you're making.
Big or small.
Yeah.
It all adds up.
That's such a good point.
Right.
And that's something we can all apply to our own lives.
Totally.
Whether we're running a business, working on a project, even just like interacting with others.
It's about being intentional.
Yes.
With the messages that we're putting out there.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Both consciously and unconsciously.
Well said. This has been such an eye-opening conversation.
It really has.
I feel like I have a whole new appreciation for the thought and strategy that goes into visual storytelling.
Me too. And the best part is, there's always more to learn.
That's true.
Every campaign, every design holds valuable lessons if you know what to look for. Totally, totally. And speaking of valuable lessons, before we wrap up, I have one final, like, thought-provoking question for you to ponder.
Hit me with it.
Okay.
I'm ready.
So we've talked a lot about, like, the importance of consistency in visual storytelling. But in today's world, things are constantly changing.
Right. Like, how do you keep up?
Exactly. How can brands maintain that consistency?
It's a tough one.
While also, like, staying adaptable and relevant, because you don't want to be, like, stuck in the past.
No, you got to evolve.
Right.
You got to stay fresh.
But you also want to be true to, like, who you are.
100%.
So how do you find that balance?
Right.
Between, like, staying true to your core identity and evolving with the times.
Yeah, it's that balance.
It's like that sweet spot.
It is.
You know?
You got to find it.
It's like they say the only constant is change.
Isn't that the truth?
Well, on that note of embracing evolution, time for us to sign off. Thanks for joining us.
It's been a pleasure.
On this deep dive into the fascinating world of visual storytelling.
So fun.
Until next time.
Yeah.
Keep those creative sparks flying.
Bye, everybody.